Hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer Oliver, and I'm the president of the Dearborn Heights League of Women Voters, a nonpartisan national organization that encourages the informed and active participation of citizens in government. The League never supports or opposes candidates or political parties. Membership is open to everyone aged 16 years or older. Tonight's candidate forum is presented and produced as a public service by the League of Women Voters. It is an opportunity for candidates to express their views related to their candidacy. The League does not certify the accuracy of any candidate's responses to questions, and voters are encouraged to fact-check information shared at the forum. This forum is being conducted virtually through the Zoom platform on June 29th, and the recording that you are watching has been released in its entirety. This candidate forum is for the office of Wayne County Commissioner, 13th District, which includes Dearborn and Allen Park. There are 2 candidates each on the Republican and Democratic Party primary ballots. This forum is for the 2 Republican Party candidates. Voters in this election may only vote in one party's primary, either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. This is true throughout the primary ballot. You must pick one party or the other. No crossover voting is allowed. If you're not sure of your district, contact your local city clerk's office or visit the Secretary of State's Michigan Voter Information Center at mi.gov/vote to find your polling place and all of your districts. A mailing from your clerk that clarifies your districts should arrive soon in your mailbox or may have arrived already. For additional information on today's candidates, please visit the League's online voter guide at vote411.org. The League of Women Voters wants every eligible voter to inform themselves and to vote. If you want to vote absentee, contact your city clerk's office. If you aren't sure whether you're registered to vote or whether your absentee ballot has been issued or recorded, please visit mi.gov/vote. And now I'm delighted to introduce the moderator of tonight's forum, Nominees.
Thank you, Jennifer. Welcome, candidates, and welcome to those viewing this recording. We are so grateful you are here. Today is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. And we are recording this program in its entirety via the Zoom platform. As always, the League of Women Voters is not responsible for the views expressed by the candidates. The candidates have agreed to the following. The first candidate to speak has been determined randomly. Thereafter, the order of responses will be rotated. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to make an opening statement and 1 minute to answer each question. We will end with each candidate having 1 minute to make a final statement. The timekeeper, Colleen Correca, will give 15-second warnings to cue the candidates to bring their answers to a close, and will raise a card and say stop to notify the candidates when their time expires. The questions were determined by a league committee. Time will not allow for all questions to be asked. If you have more questions, we encourage you to contact the candidates whose information is available online at vote411.org. The August 2nd Republican primary election for the office of 13th District Wayne County Commissioner will determine which candidate will run against the Democratic Party's candidate on November 8th. The candidates are Abdul-Latif S. Al-Jahami and Ann F. Clark. The candidates have been asked to make a 2-minute opening statement, and we will begin with Mr. Al-Jahami.
Well, thank you. I would like to begin with thanking the League of Women's Voters for having this forum and giving us the opportunity to address the public and their constituents. I would also wish the candidates well and good luck. I'm Abdul-Latif Al-Jahami, and I'm proud to be an American. I migrated to the United States from Yemen when I was 9 years old, and today I'm running for Wayne County Commissioner, District 13. I moved to Michigan in 2007, and I've called it home since. I now have a beautiful family with my wife, Sarah, and 3 wonderful kids. I went to Henry Ford College and the University of Michigan Dearborn, graduating with a bachelor's degree in accounting with a minor in finance. My first job was as an accountant was for Severstal Steel, which is now Cleveland Cliff. I was the head of capital investments and asset management. I managed capital projects that consisted of almost $1 billion. I was the accountant in charge of building 2 new steelmaking plants. I now own my own accounting firm, and I'm a licensed real estate agent as well. I enjoy doing both, as I enjoy helping my community navigate their financial lives. Some of my volunteering activities consisted of Accounting Aid Society, VITA, volunteer for many years. I also, as a junior achievement volunteer at Advanced Technology Academy and the Campbell's Let's Can Hunger Challenge. Throughout my life, I've seen how the middle class is being squeezed. My father worked 2 jobs his entire life to provide us with food and shelter. I didn't see my father for most of my life because he went to work before I woke up and came home after I already went to bed. He was a man who provided for his family, and I am who I am today thanks to him. When I came to Michigan in 2007, that's when the recession occurred. I was confident that Michigan would bounce back. I was full of faith in our future. I attended college while working full-time. I was the first in my family to attend college. I'm motivated to run because I want to ensure public tax dollars are well spent on issues related to—
Stop that time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Clark.
Hi, again, my name is Ann Clark, and I also want to thank the League of Women Voters and being able to be invited to participate in this forum. I was born and raised in Wayne County. I have a husband, 2 children, and I have 10 grandchildren. I worked for the YMCA Metropolitan Detroit for 18 years. Followed that, I created my own business focused on effective management and fund development. I am a solution-oriented businesswoman who has spearheaded signature fundraising events and capital campaigns for numerous organizations, such as Habitat for Humanity, American Red Cross, Rogero Promise Foundation, and other various diverse organizations throughout metropolitan Detroit. After retirement, I became an active supporter in local charities and volunteer in the Republican Party. I was asked to be part of the Wayne County effort to recall Whitmer, and I became the chair of that effort. Unfortunately, that didn't succeed. I also created a weekly calendar, which I send to over 450 people, which includes political news, events of our community, so we can support grassroots organizations and other Republican Party people who are fighting for against unconstitutional orders, fighting for legal elections, and fighting for quality education for our schools. As a commissioner, some of the top priorities that I feel that I need to address are the infrastructure and roads are still a disaster for our community. They still need to be fixed. Conducting meetings for our constituents at a time when it's convenient for them, like in the evenings or on the weekends, so they can attend. In all culvert restrictions for Wayne County facilities, so our community will have full unrestricted access to our services. Bring transparencies to our taxpayers.
Stop that time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we will begin the questions. All candidates will be given 1 minute to answer each question. And we'll begin with Ms. Clark. This spring, the League of Women Voters and Access visited 9 high schools in Dearborn Heights, and Inkster. We asked them, approximately 850 of them in multiple classrooms, what their top issues were. Roads was number 3. Gas prices and abortion were 1 and 2. So the question is, if elected, what would you do to address the condition of Wayne County's roads?
The first thing that I would do is take a look at, because the budget for Wayne County is $1.8 billion. This is a significant amount of money, and we should be able to put roads as our priority and take a look at what programs that aren't working and maybe reduce where that spending is going, because without the roads, our community's infrastructure inhibits economic growth and also safety for just driving.
Thank you. Mr. Al-Jami.
Hello. For the roads, there should be no reason why we have issues with our roads. The roads should always been fixed and be fixed. Not having enough money to fund roads is an excuse, and we will not have that excuse no more. If I'll be Wayne County Commissioner, I will make that a top priority, that we have enough funds for the roads. And I would definitely make sure that before we start, putting money for everything else that's unnecessary, that we first fund the roads, because the roads are a major factor for all citizens, and all citizens should be free to travel and on safe roads. And that would be my main concern. And just like the students that you visited, would be the roads, the infrastructure.
Thank you very much. All right, this is also directed to you, Mr. Al-Jahami. What actions could Wayne County take to help residents who experience flooding issues?
For Wayne County, we should definitely work on how we resolve the issues with residents that are facing flood issues by completing tasks quickly. Learn from our previous mistakes that happened last year, where there was funds that arrived from the state and from the federal government that they were not able to go to the residents that needed them when they needed them. There was a lot of delay responses between the federal government and the Wayne County government and the state government. I would work to first fix that issue, where we can implement policies to get the funds in hand and send them out as soon as possible to the residents without delay. Make sure that there's phone lines that are available, and make sure there's local offices for Wayne County in cities where the residents can go to a local office and get answers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Clark.
Hi, thank you. One of the issues that in South Dearborn, and this has happened twice now, two floodings back to back, that should not have happened. There needs to be a method to fix them, as far as what is the problem, why is it happening, and work to start fixing it, and then Wayne County get the funding from if there's a lag, because we have a responsibility to our residents to mitigate that somehow. And we've got to find a way to solve that problem, because it's happened every time it rains. South end of Dearborn gets flooded every time, and that's not acceptable. So we have to divert funding or whatever, because our citizens need to come first.
Thank you. So again, Ms. Clark, this question is directed to you first. What are your budget priorities, and what budget items would you consider reducing or eliminating, if any?
The main budget, the adjustments is fixing the roads would have to be number one, and take a look at some of the, just recently the commissioners looked at adding $1.7 million for messaging about COVID. Why isn't $1.7 million going towards the roads, or going towards social programs that will, like they say, if you teach a person how to fish, they won't go hungry. We need to have programs like that that are going to help empower and create the jobs that we need in our community, instead of closing them down with arbitrary mandates. So we need to run that interference so that our businesses will grow.
All right, thank you, Mr. Al-Jahami.
Yeah, the top priorities where I would want to see the budget priorities would be for the infrastructure. I would want to see that Department of Infrastructure for the roads and also for the sewage systems. I want to make sure that we have those areas funded well, so the residents can stay in Wayne County and not be worried about every time it rains, or when they go under an underpass and there's flooding over there, and all the potholes and on the roads that they travel to that never get fixed, and excuses. There's not enough cars going through those roads. So because of that, we put that to the end. That's not an excuse. The reason why people are avoiding those roads is because of potholes. So, and then the areas where I would want to not see a budget go to would be for the cars. I would not want to see a lot.
Thank you.
All right, the next question will be back to you, Mr. Al-Jami. According to the 2020 census, the percentage of people living in poverty in Wayne County is 20%, significantly higher than the state average, which is 12.6%. What is the role of the County Commission in addressing the issue of poverty?
For Wayne County Commissioner to address the issue of poverty, they would definitely have programs like with Department of Human Services to have programs where they can give food to poor families, and also I would like to see to fund organizations that help make sure that they get foods to families that are in need. Also, make sure that there's enough housing, enough money where we can build governmental housing, and share that area with the local areas here into that to that field of helping build infrastructure to manage low to manage.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Clark.
Yes, one of the things that we need to do, because over the last 2 years, the biggest hit that has also increased our poverty level in Wayne County is arbitrary shutdowns that we've received with businesses. And we need to stand up for our small businesses, because if people are employed and people are working, the poverty is going to go down. It's back to that, if you provide them a source of income, they will be not on the poverty level and they will be employed. And so we need to increase the small businesses, give them tax cuts to small businesses, encourage people to be entrepreneurs and start businesses, because there's a lot of people that are doing businesses out of home because the COVID shutdowns did help educate people in that part of it. But so we need to help encourage that, and because I don't believe social programs are going to solve the poverty level. I think empowerment will. Thank you.
Thank you. So this goes back to you, Ms. Clark. Issue number 8 out of the 50 top issues for students was healthcare. And they also listed rehabilitation, insurance, and drugs in the top 50. What role does the county government play in healthcare? And do you propose or support any changes?
Healthcare is one of those things that I feel that Wayne County commissioners should not tell people what to do in regards to their health. I think that's an individual person's freedom to do that. As far as supporting healthcare programs of the Wayne County, of course, we would take a look at what programs that are in place and how can we improve them and be more cost effective. Our budget should be run like a business. So where we put the optimum dollars where it's going to do the most good, that we should help direct as far as Wayne County Health Department. But as far as on the local level, everybody needs to play a part in that, because all the cities have their own mandates and their own health department issues as well. So we would work together. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Al-Jami.
Yes, for the healthcare, I would want to make sure that money is spent more on rehabilitation programs of getting of doing therapeutical instead of giving them medications, using therapeutic medicines, to where we tried to get the people off pills, especially pain medications. We encourage rehabilitation programs and put more money into youth centers to where they can help manage the rehabilitations of health care without giving medications. We want to encourage people to stay away from medications and to
Stop that time. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question back to you, Mr. Aljami, is do you support sunshine laws for government transparency so the public has access to public records? And should commissioners be required to declare their financial interests in writing annually and announce conflicts of interest before they vote?
Yes, I would do support the sunshine laws. It's very important that there is transparency in the county. And I would like to see everything being out there for the constituents to look up to see what the current projects that are over there, the spending. I would want to have to give access to the residents. And definitely, I do agree with given access and making the county commissioner responsible for providing their financial records and conflict of interest in terms of conflict of interest and things that they vote on. Definitely, that's a very important issue. And we want to make sure that there is no conflict of interest there, because if there's interest other than the interest of the public, then there's a problem. And we want to make sure that the interest is for—
Can you stop that time? Thank you.
Ms. Clark.
I definitely support that, the sunshine law. Too many of the traditional candidates have come into offices and have had modest incomes and have left being millionaires. And there is some question of how they came about to be that way in political office when you know what the salaries are. And so that is very troublesome. I feel that all politicians should disclose their financial information when they're in office, because you're in the public limelight anyways, and the public has a right to know if you're benefiting from being in that office. And that would also showcase whether you're doing nefarious things as well. So I totally support being transparent in the county's budget as well as me as a candidate budget. Thank you.
Thank you. So back to you, Ms. Clark. Guns were the #9 issue for students. Do you believe that Wayne County has a gun violence problem? If so, what measures would you support to alleviate this problem? If not, are there any changes in gun regulation that you would recommend? And the second part of this question is, have you and would you accept donations from gun lobbying groups?
Okay, thank you. That's a very great question. I don't feel guns are the problem. We have plenty of gun laws in place. The problem is people and their mismanagement of guns. And I support the Second Amendment. I just want to make that up front right now. If you are a card-carrying lawful gun owner, that isn't the issue. The problem is you have people who get guns illegally that aren't law-abiding citizens. And that is something that as far as how to solve that problem, it is to enforce that. And that is by supporting our police and supporting having resource officers in our schools. So that way the children feel safe, because I feel that is a problem, and not have resource officers that are in the school that aren't at their job, like unfortunately the last school.
Can you stop that time? Thank you.
Mr. Aljami.
Yes, I do think that we have a huge gun problem in Wayne County and gun violence. one way of resolving that issue, I would make it where it's harder for individuals. They would have to go through a more stricter background check in order to get their hands on guns. I would also increase the prices, and I would also have where insurance would be required to have insurance on the gun. And I would make it more, I would have more policy to where when somebody goes and buys a gun, where they know that, okay, if they're buying this gun, they're going to be very responsible for it. And it's not going to be as easy as walking into a grocery store and just
stop that time. Thank you.
Thank you. So back to Mr. Aljami. Climate change was issue number 11 for the students. Environment was 18 out of the top 50. What do you think the commission should be doing to address climate change?
The government the Wayne County government, in regards to climate change, I would think that they would definitely be stricter on manufacturing companies and to being transparent, and that they would have systems of how to deliver transparency to the public of issues that are having in terms of environment. I would say, controlling the because Wayne County is full of manufacturing companies, and there's a lot of pollution that's coming out from the manufacturing facilities, and it's hurting the people nearby. So I would definitely have, make it more strict and make violations higher, and give them issues to these manufacturing companies that don't care about how they're dealing with the people, with the environment.
Stop that time. Thank you.
Ms. Clark.
Right. Although climate change right now is still a concern of a lot of people right now, with the raise of the gas prices being up and continuing, and we are in an inflation that is getting out of control. Right now, going after the businesses and penalizing them when they're already raising prices, and we have to worry about, people are worried about getting to work and keeping a job. And we have to be careful that we don't do mandates and regulations that are going to hurt the businesses and that they're going to lose employees. But now what we can do is we can give incentive to businesses who are working to do recycling or green things, and reward them. And if we give them tax breaks, they might be able to hire more employees, which increases jobs, which is what Wayne County needs. Thank you.
Thank you. This is our last question. And I'll go to you first, Ms. Clark. Please explain where you see opportunities for Democrats and Republicans to find common ground on the very serious issues facing our county.
Well, it goes back to the inflation right now. We definitely need to work together and to help the businesses keep their employees, help the employees to be able to get to their jobs. And because people are worried about keeping jobs, feeding their families, and being able to live. And right now, that is a community problem. And we have to try to find ways to cross that bridge to help each other, because this is not a Republican or a Democrat problem. Inflation is going to impact us very dramatically right now. And that's got everybody worried. And we need to figure out ways to help each other with this. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Aljami.
Common grounds that Republicans and Democrats would work together with would definitely be the issue of gun violence and safety. I would like to see the Republicans and Democrats and all parties work together to make it harder for individuals to go and buy guns and I would definitely like to see them also work on the safety issues of our schools and the areas of lowering crime by putting more money in safety and giving more funds to the law enforcement areas.
Thank you. So now it's time for the candidates to make a 1-minute closing statement. We will begin with Mr. Aljami.
Okay, well, thank you so much again for having us. And I would like to let everyone know that the youth are our future. We need to make sure that they are safe and healthy. We need to educate them about what's right and wrong. We need to provide them with the tools to succeed. We need to build and develop youth community centers where our youth can spend quality time with their parents, where their parents know they're protected and off the streets. We need to be sincere about helping them. We need to be competitive on providing and enabling them to organize and strive to meet the goals and capabilities. We also need to keep the youth away from drugs and marijuana. They are being pushed to young people in every street across the community. I would fight for the youth to have a safe and healthy life. Mental health in youth is going to be a major topic that I will fight to make sure that we have health care that can assist helping children in mental health and diagnose it right away and find medication-free treatments before it's too late. I will encourage family values and encourage families.
And stop that time. Thank you.
Ms. Clark.
I again want to thank everybody for inviting me to this forum and to be able to speak to the public in this matter. I'm an American First candidate, and I believe in our constitutional rights. And I would like to say unequivocally that I would support medical freedom. I will support family and the family unit, and also getting back to the community first, as far as we have to support our children and provide a safe environment for them that is back to the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic, and not being able to have them indoctrinated in our schools, because I feel that it's the parents' jobs to teach them the morality and values of their family. Thank you.
On behalf of the League of Women Voters of Dearborn Heights, and the communities we serve, we want to thank the candidates for participating in the forum. We appreciate the commitment it takes to run for office, and we would like to thank you for seeking to serve. To voters, please remember to vote. The polls will be open on Tuesday, August 2nd from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Absentee ballots are available from the city clerk's office. You can request an absentee ballot for any reason. In-person voting in the clerk's office has already begun. It's possible to visit the clerk's office during office hours to request an absentee ballot, vote in the office, and turn it in all in one visit. For more information, visit vote411.org and mi.gov/vote. The forum has now ended. Thank you. Well, thank you both for